Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next What's Up series. If you don't know what's going on, you should check what the series is all about. Pretty much, it's just a recap of what's gone on in the last 2 weeks or something that's gone by. Not a whole lot, I don't think, so it shouldn't run too long for today. TV binges. Unfortunately, this time there isn't really much to talk about. I didn't actually get to do the 3% season 2 as I had wanted to. Instead, I actually am still working through the Gilmore Girls season 7 because I still have a lot of stuff that I'm working on to finish right now. On the other hand, I am also rewatching a series of Unfortunate Events season 2 just so that I keep it fresh in my mind to do the TV binge, which hasn't gone up yet, but will very, very soon. In the background, I'm also working on Ugly Delicious, which is a food documentary series, Netflix original. It's really fun, actually. There's a lot of social themes involved in just the foodie theme that they have as well, which is a really interesting take on what they're doing. Moving on to reading. In terms of reading, I actually did really well. I finished Screams You Hear, which the review is already on the site right now. I have something coming up for it this week as well. I finished Wayward Sisters as I wanted to, which is an anthology written. It's like a graphic novel written and both stories and art is by just women, very talented women who write about stories and the portrayal of women in different ways. So it's called Wayward Sisters Anthology, and it's by Toronto Comics. If you're looking for the book, this is what it looks like. Very, very pretty book. The art inside is really, really cool as well. I personally love it a lot. I've read a few of their, I've read one or two of their other comics as well, and I really, really love what they've done with these stories. The review for that is going to be coming up really, really soon as well. I'm working on that for probably sometime around this week or maybe next week. I'm not sure right now. So currently what I'm reading is Road to Riverdale Volume 2, right over here. I kind of bought this book by mistake a while back, because technically what this does is it gives you a snapshot of the stories in their new revamped Archie series. So it includes pretty much stories from all of the separate volume 2s that are available. The Archie, the Jughead, Reggie and Me, Betty and Veronica, and I'm not sure if they also have and Josie and the Pussycats. So it's a really cool book to just get a snapshot of what you want to see. It kind of links into the TV series a little. They say that it's kind of like it kind of fits a little in between some of the scenarios that you don't actually see. I don't really see the link to the TV series personally. I think it's a different vibe completely. But it's a cool book to get a good idea, mostly because I buy all of the Archie comics. I'm missing the last 2 volumes. I'm going to catch up with that. But I don't read any of the other ones except for Josie and the Pussycats, and I'm about to start Betty and Veronica, which only had their volume 1 released late last year, so I never got a chance to buy it. Other than that, I'm reading, in terms of actual novel, I'm reading The Things We Learn When We're Dead by Charlie Laidlaw. I'm doing that for a blog tour. I'm not very far in the book right now, so I don't really know what to say about it. It's an interesting premise. I'm slowly getting into it. But if talking about, last time I never got the chance to say it, but Screams You Hear, I finished that book, and it's an incredible book, actually. It turned out to be a lot more than what I had expected at the 10% that I was talking about last time. It actually took some really nice turns, took some really nice twists, and so be sure to check that out. I'm going to link the review in the bottom in the description as well if you want to check that out. Moving right on to movies. I actually got quite a few movies done. I did Event Horizon for Movies and Tea podcast. That episode has already been uploaded onto our channel, so you can check that out on moviesandteapodcast.wordpress.com. You can also find us Movies and Tea at Podomatic. I'll link obviously all of that down there. Event Horizon is one of my favorite Paul W.S. Anderson movies. It's actually one of my favorite sci-fi movies in general, and thriller and all that sort of thing. I really love the movie. I'm one of the big fans of it. I'm aware of problems with it, but I fully appreciate it for exactly what it is. It always is very effective for me, so I really like that. I'm going to do this right now, is that I'm going to start talking about, I'm just going to give you a recap of what I did watch, and then I'm going to talk about, which ones I think are highlights of these past 2 weeks. So I watched Minions, Monster Trucks, Eden Lake, Doctor Strange, Submerged, and obviously I mentioned Event Horizon. I'm not really sure which is really a standout in this. I did have a lot of fun with Monster Trucks, even though I know it's not like a perfect movie, but as a family entertainment film, I think it does a fantastic job. I was super entertained. I didn't know if it was because I was really tired or just because I thought that, for what it was really entertaining. It wasn't, it's not rocket science. There are a lot of crappy dialogues, but for everything that that you'd expect in this kind of film, it kind of delivers in the fun, easygoing entertainment with teens and silliness. And I think what I liked the best was really the way they portrayed the monster, which is like this, which reminded me about like a tentacly Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro. I love My Neighbor Totoro. I grew up with it, and it kind of gave me that sort of feeling from its expressions and what it did and all that sort of thing. And for me, it worked out really well. Other than that, I guess Doctor Strange turned out a lot better than I expected. I don't know much about the source material of Marvel. I've never really I never read comics before when I grew up. It was never part of like my growing up experience. So I'm really discovering it through all these MCU movies. And Doctor Strange I finally got. I do realize that, I thought it would be kind of weird, and still felt a little weird that it was set in this kind of Asian sort of like environment, but it wasn't with Asian actors. But to be honest, it did deliver for what it was as a Marvel movie. It had a lot of comedic moments, and Benedict Cumberbatch was good. I always liked Tilda Swinton. It's not as great as other movies that are in the MCU, but it was a surprise. It was surprising how good it was for me. Other than that, I don't really know. I'm kind of torn right now. I just finished watching Eden Lake yesterday as of when I'm filming this. And I'm still kind of torn as to how I feel about it. So, I'd say that's an interesting film. I feel like people would be torn on it just because the film felt like nothing much was going on, and then a lot was going on, and I think the idea there, the premise and the setting works really well for what it is, and you get to see a very early Michael Fassbender playing in it as well. If that's up your alley, then this should work perfectly for you. That's it for movies. Moving on to games. Games is going to be really fast. Last time I talked about starting Life is Strange Before the Storm. I have since then finished it. We've recorded the review. It's going to be coming up really soon on our channel for Game Warp podcast. Our next game is going to be Bacon Man and Adventure, and it was released, I think, maybe around 2-3 months ago when my computer was having problems. Other than that, I mean, on mobile, I'm playing Shark Pool, and I'm trying that out. It's actually kind of interesting. A kind of silly idea that's coming up in the May mobile game roundup. As well as I'm revisiting an old mobile game that I was playing from 2 years ago, which is Primal Legends. Primal Legends is a mash of a card game mixed with a match 3 puzzle. Very unique, actually. I really like the characters and the design of it. There's a really nice challenge. I'm still playing the quest mode right now, and the story is pretty decent. But I don't think that that's the key. Other than that, I've been working through the Cube Escape and Rusty Lake games. So the next one that I have up is going to be Rusty Lake Hotel. I just finished the first part of the Cube Escape games, which are all free mobile games, so you can actually check that out. The Rusty Lake series is premium games, so you need to pay a little bit for them. I'm really excited to try them out. This is a quirky little world, and it's really cool because they actually have a Kickstarter that just launched for their next Cube Escape, which is paired up with a movie, and it's called Paradox. I really love the world they've built, and I feel like there's kind of like this endless creativity that's in it, and I'm really impressed by it in general. So that pretty much wraps up this past 2 weeks What's Up. I kind of burned through a lot of things and that sort of stuff. A lot more than I expected to talk about, to be honest. But so tell me, what's up with everyone else? What are you reading, binging, watching, playing? Share it down in the comments below, or give me recommendations on what you want me to see or check out next. That's it. Thanks for watching this round of What's Up, and I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. Hopefully before that. Bye.